Hey, what's up, guys? It's Luke, and you're watching Luke the Gathering. Thanks for checking out the channel. I just got back from Friday Night Magic, which was the new Kamigawa draft. And, hey, I didn't go 1 and 2 this time. I was 2 and 1. Very proud of myself. Yay! And so we'll open up these prize packs later. You know, every time you win a round, you get a booster pack of your choice. Actually, you get set boosters, but I think they messed up. They didn't mess up. Wizards messed up their allocation, so they got a bunch of draft boosters, so they gave these away. And then they had leftover Midnight Hunt promo packs, so we'll open this at the end. But I did want to talk about the deck that I made that went 2 and 1. Yeah, let's just take a look at it and see what you thought of it. 40 cards. I think I went 24 non-lands and then 16 lands. And this is what it was consisting of. First of all, I had a lot of removal in this deck, which of course, as everyone knows, is extremely important in Limited. So I was able to pull an Intercessor's Arrest. This actually never got used because I never ended up drawing it, which of course happens. Repel the Vile. This came in very handy. It exiles a creature with power 4 or greater at instant speed. Just really, really nice. This got used a lot. Touch the Spirit Realm. What happens is it exiles the creature until this leaves the battlefield, and if this leaves the battlefield, then it comes back. So it's not as good of a removal, but it does have a channel ability that you can maybe use on your own stuff, or even to kind of remove something for a little bit. But I really just used it as the enchantment, and it did a great job. Wanderer's Intervention is actually one of my favorites because it does 4 to attacking or blocking creature for only 1 and white. And so this one I actually had it in my hand quite a few times and did exactly what it was supposed to do. I was in white, red, and green, with red being the least of the colors, but I really wanted to play Voltage Surge. This came in handy. Luckily, my mana base was pretty decent. I didn't really need to fix too much, and it worked out. Voltage Surge is great. And then Master's Rebuke. I pulled a couple of these. I only played one of them because this is one of those cards where you actually need creatures on the field to use it. And I've noticed in this format that sometimes there really aren't that many creatures on the field. And especially for me, sometimes you end up with 1 or 2 and they're not strong enough. This card could really just clog up your hand if that's the case. I did use one gain land. It was the Windscarred Crag, red, white. The deck was primarily green, white, and then with a little bit of red. This was perfect for that. There was once I did draw this on the first turn, and I got to play it, tap, gain a life. It was really nice. Felt really nice to do that, and I had the green-white one as well, but I didn't put that in because I don't want too many lands that come in tapped, and I was plenty fine with green and white. Iron Apprentice, cool little 1-drop. You know, it gives its counters off when it dies. Nothing game-breaking, but useful. Can chump block and all that kind of thing. Because I was in 3 colors, the Ecologist Terrarium I thought was particularly important because I wanted to go get the land or the color that I didn't have, and this came in useful a few times. Plus, you could put +1/+1 counters on things after sacking it, so it has a dual use. I think it's a pretty utilitarian card, and yeah, if I needed to fix any type of mana, this is something I would certainly put in. Ancestral Katana gives +2/+1. I was in red, white, so of course I've had samurais and things like that. This card came into play in like a couple of games, not too many. It was mostly because I didn't draw it. I wish I could have used this katana more. I think it's really cool. Roaring Earth. This is a card I debated putting in or out of the deck. If you get it early, this card can be really, really sweet. Just giving things +1/+1 every time you drop a land. However, the one time I got this in, my opponent killed it right away, which was a smart idea. And then I played an opponent who got this in, and I killed it right away. And yeah, they would have gotten a ton of value off of it had I not killed it right away. And so, yeah, a good card. It's like a must kill. Jukai Trainee. I think this is just a solid 2-drop for green. It actually more acts like a 3/3. You know, if it has to block or attack, just if they let it through, it's still just a 2/2. But I think this guy's really solid, especially very early in the game. I love having Jukai Trainee. Just feels like you feel a little safer with this guy blocking and defending, or even, you know, getting in for a little bit of damage. Speaking of the Jukai Preserver, we got 2 of these. And this is great, because when Jukai Preserver hits the battlefield, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. That's pretty nice. It also has a channel ability to discard it and then put +1/+1 counter on each of the 2 creatures. So +1/+1, crazy on this card, but I like to put on itself, especially if you have a small board, or this is the only thing coming in, and it becomes a 4/4, which I think is pretty relevant because a lot of the creatures, when this comes down, are going to be in, you know, 2 and 1 sort of scenarios. The Geothermal Kami, this is like such a weird looking round shaped thing for me, but this is always great. I love this. If you need to bounce your enchantment, you can. And it's 4/3, so it's significantly statted, I feel like. Beats all the 2/2s, 2/1s, 1/2s, you know, even 1/4s. You know, this will kill it if you know, those things can't block it. So I really think this card is a strong card. I've played with it a few times now, and you know, if I see it, I'm gonna pick this card up. I didn't want my deck to be too, you know, mana intensive. Try to, you know, you try to find as many of these sort of 1-drops, I feel like, that are useful as you can, and the Moth Rider Patrol is certainly useful. It's a 1-drop. It's a 1/1. It can also tap creatures, which came into play for me. And so, or, you know, if you're putting +1/+1 counters on stuff, this is great to carry +1/+1 counters and then go to town a little bit. Not tons, obviously, but this does the job. Especially getting these down turn 1 is great. Golden Tail Disciple. This is a monk, unfortunately. It's not like a samurai or warrior, but it is an enchantment creature, which counts for things. And it's 2 and a white. It has lifelink. Decent. Nothing great. This was probably one of the most vanilla creatures I felt that I had, but I wasn't really disappointed having him there. The Imperial Subduer was really nice, actually, because in the Samurai Warrior decks that I kind of made today, I really wanted them to get in, and being able to tap target creature, that's really strong. It's going to let your guy survive. This came in really, really, really handy, actually. Plus, it's a 3/2, so you can trade it off with something if necessary. The Sunblade Samurai is also really great. It's an enchantment creature again. You can channel it to get planes, and you also gain 2 life when you do that. But a 4/4 with Vigilance is, again, no laughing matter. And being a samurai, when it attacks alone, it's going to get buffed up. It's going to get stronger. It's going to have bonuses, which will pay off. So, great card here. Oh, here's one of those things that provides payoffs. Iganjo Exemplar. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So, you know, if that Sunblade Samurai from before attacks, it's a 5/5 all of a sudden. I picked up 2 of these. These are only 1 and a white, which I love. If I had both of these, which I never had both of these out at the same time, it would have been +2/+2. That's super good. All right, Boseiju Reaches Skyward. This was actually my one of my all-stars. Actually, probably the all-star of the deck. I got this out quite often for whatever reason. Some cards you just get all the time. This one was one of them. You get to get lands, and the lands eventually turn into a creature where you get +1/+1 for each land you control. So often this was, 6/6, 7/7, 8/8. I got up to a 12 power creature at one point. It had some counters on it as well. And it has reach. The reach part of it was very significant because you'd have, 4/4 flyers or things in the air. They could not get past this unless they had removal. So I was just praying, please do not have removal. And they didn't, luckily. And so I was able to keep this on board for many of the games, and people couldn't get past it. It was just too big and powerful. And this won the game for me quite a bit. Love this card. This is another card that won the game for me, in conjunction with another card, which I'll share in a second. Skyblessed Samurai. 6 and a white. It's a 7-drop for a 4/4. That's like really expensive and overcosted. But the spell costs 1 less for each enchantment you control. And sometimes I had 3 enchantment creatures, and this was a 4-drop, which is definitely not too bad. Oh, there it goes. So this card is great just because of its flying. 4 in the air, flying is nice. And if they can't stop it, they're just going to lose. And this is actually what makes them really lose bad. Ryu Storm's Edge. This is the only reason I was in red besides the voltage thing. It has first strike at 3/3. And whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks them, you can untap it. And if it's the first combat phase of the turn, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. So you get 2 combats in. And I remember in one of my games, I was attacking alone with this samurai and just going in for 8 with no blockers in the air, which was just incredible. So, yeah, really, really nice. Really glad I pulled those. Let's take a look at the stuff I didn't use in the deck. Invoke Justice. Now, funny story about this card, and actually let me find these 2 cards. Invoke Justice and Brilliant Restoration. I mean, look at those white pips. 4. That's ridiculous. I don't think I've ever even had 4 planes on the board. But very powerful if you can get them to pop off. I knew I wasn't going to do that. But the funny story is Invoke Justice was the first card that I saw as the rare. And I was like, there's no way I can play this. So I passed it. Brilliant Restoration was the second rare that I opened up in pack 2. And I passed it. And they both came back to me. I just ended up picking them up. I mean, whatever. But that was kind of funny. This one especially looks really cool. But, yeah, they made it all the way on our table back to me. Both of them. Fade into Antiquity is a card I think I could have main decked. I think this is done well in a lot. But these are cards I cut. Blooming Sands, I told you I cut this one. I didn't think I need green and white. Because I had plenty. It was red that was the one that was necessary. I had the Asari Captain in the deck for a while, but too expensive, not nearly as good as the other one, just not worth it. I didn't put this one in. Dragonfly Suit I was thinking of putting in because it's a flying 3/2. Crew just for 1. That's not bad. Tamio's Safekeeping. I had this in the deck actually a couple times. Didn't do a whole lot. It just kept me alive for like 1 more turn, so I ended up cutting it and putting something else in. I also like the Shattered States there because I just love taking creatures from my opponents, but I did end up cutting it in a few of the games. Here's another rare, the Dragon Kami Reborn. This turns into an egg, and you can like exile some cards and put them directly into play if the egg, hatches, I guess. But I didn't have anything. I was thinking I didn't have anything worth really like hatching. I'd hatch like a 2/2. That's not worth it. So I decided not to play this card. I think that was a good idea. I actually really wanted to play this Tales of Master Shishiro because you get a 5/5 Vigilance at the end. But I don't know, 4 and a green. I thought I tried to cut expensive mana cost things. Boon of Boseiju, I don't think that was going to do anything. Black wasn't my color. Befriending the Moths was something I thought of putting in. I thought that might be good. Another's Master's Rebuke. The funny story is this was my first pick. Pack 1, pick 1, Moon Circuit Hacker. It's such a hacky card, but I think it's good. I was thinking maybe I could do a ninja thing, but that got scooped up fast, and I switched out of blue. Actually, the first 3 picks were like completely different from each other. Anyways, let's take a look at what we get in Kamigawa. We got unfortunately, draft booster. It's not a set booster, so a set booster would have been, I think, better. Ooh, this I think the Japanese one. So the rare is going to be up front. So we got our Samurai token. Ooh, we got our Black Land. This is the Black Land I actually like. This is my favorite one. And here it is, Katose, the Silent Spider is the rare in this pack. I don't think it's that great of a rare, but there we are. And then let's see what would have been good in the draft. This would have been great. Historian's Wisdom, actually, I drafted, I thought. Gravelighter's decent. I like that card. That's a decent card. This is a great card. I like the Iron Apprentice. Yeah, we got some really nice little. If this was an actual draft pack, I think it wouldn't be too bad. All right, let's check our next pack. We got a Dismal Backwater and Invoke Despair. Oh, that's yeah, 4 black pips. That's pretty hard. That's pretty hard to overcome. I don't know if I would have played that, but I do like the Reinforced Ronin a lot. Circuit Mender's pretty decent. This is pretty good. The Reign of Truth, a Gonjo guy, the Patroller, Beetle. I like the Beetle. Yeah, not bad. Decent stuff in there, especially in draft. Okay, like I said, they just had a bunch of Midnight Hunt promos, so they kind of just gave those out to people. Well, let's see what we get. Oh, we have the Triskaidekaphile. So that's not the best, that's for sure. This was a card you got in every single bundle, so pretty common card to have. Join the Dance. That's okay. I don't think it's the greatest. And then Orcus, Prince of Undeath. This is from AFR. Also, I don't think it's the best. So, whatever. Not the greatest pulls, but a great time. That was at Davis Cards and Games. I play there on Friday nights. And if you're in Davis, come check it out. They also have drafts on Mondays for Discount Draft and Commander Nights and Pokemon and all this other stuff right at where UC Davis is. Right in that downtown area. Actually, they just moved a little bit farther out, but not too far. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.